Hello everyone, myself Pragna from Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering here to present you about the topic of human heart. Let's see about the architecture of human heart. In this PPT, we'll study about the definition of human heart, the external architecture of heart, the internal architecture of heart, the blood flow through heart, the heart's electrical system and heart sounds. Human heart. The heart is a muscular organ that is situated in the front of chest. It pumps blood all through the body in a process called as circulation. Apart from the heart, the blood vessels and blood as a unit constitute the cardiovascular system. External architecture of human heart. Pericardium. The human heart is situated to the left of chest and is enclosed within a fluid-filled cavity described as pericardial cavity. The walls and lining of pericardial cavity are made up of a membrane known as pericardium. The pericardium is a fibrous membrane found as an external covering around the heart. It protects the heart by producing a serous fluid which serves to lubricate the heart and prevent friction between the surrounding organs. Apart from the lubrication, the pericardium also helps by holding the heart in its position and by maintaining a hollow space for the heart to expand itself when it is full. The pericardium has two exclusive layers, the visceral layer and the parietal layer. The visceral layer, it directly covers the outside of the heart. The parietal layers, it forms a sac around the outer region of the heart that contains the fluid in the pericardial cavity. Internal architecture of heart. The heart is divided into four chambers: right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, and left ventricle. The atria are the two superior chambers of the heart, and the ventricle are the two inferior chambers of the heart. The right side of the heart and the left side of the heart are isolated from each other. The right and left sides are separated by a septum. Between the right and left atria is tissue called as interatrial spectrum, and between right and left ventricles is a tissue called as interventricular spectrum. There are four valves in the heart: two that separates the atria from ventricles on both the right and left side, which is atrioventricular valves, and two that separates the ventricle from their associated arteries: aortic valve and pulmonary valve. The aortic valve and pulmonary valve are sometimes called as semilunar valves. Since they are composed of three crescented shaped cups, the AV valve, also called the tricuspid valve, and the bicuspid valve. These names describe the number of cups that make them. Tri means three cups and bi means two cups. The heart valves are either open or they are closed based on whether the heart muscle of the ventricle is contracting. Ventricular systole or heart muscle of the ventricle is not contracting. Ventricular diastole. Both systole and diastole are equally important for moving blood effectively through the heart and through the blood circulation circuits. Let's see in detail about the heart valves. Heart valve, aortic valve. The location of this valve is between left ventricle and the aorta. The during ventricular systole, this aortic valve will be open, and during ventricular diastole, this aortic valve will be closed. Heart valve, which is known as mitral valve. The location of this mitral valve is between left atrium and left ventricle. During ventricular systole, this valve remains closed, and during ventricular diastole, this valve remains open. Let's see about the pulmonary valve. Between the right ventricle and the pulmonary trunk is its location, and it's open during ventricular systole and it is closed during ventricular diastole. Tricuspid valve. The location of this valve is between right atrium and left ventricle, and this remains closed during ventricular systole, and this remains open during ventricular diastole. This is the schematic representation of internal heart anatomy. Let's see various circulation through which the blood is flown through to and from the heart. They are pulmonary circulation, systemic circulation, and coronary circulation. Pulmonary circulation. is a portion of circulation responsible for carrying deoxygenated blood away from the heart to the lungs and then bringing oxygenated blood back to the heart. Systemic circulation is another portion of the circulation where the oxygenated blood is pumped from the heart to every organ and tissue in the body, and deoxygenated blood comes back again to the heart. The last type of circulation is coronary circulation, is an essential portion of the circulation where oxygenated blood is supplied to the heart, and this is important as the heart is responsible for supplying blood throughout the body. Let's see about the heart's electrical system. SA node or sinoatrial node's role as the heart's natural pacemaker initiating electrical impulses. It is a patch of muscle tissue present at the base of the right atrium near a tricuspid valve on the interauricular spectrum. It is the structure that initiates a heartbeat. It generates a wave of cardiac impulses that spread from auricles to ventricles. This impulses is conducted to ventricles with the help of special conducting fibers called as Purkinje fibers. These cardiac impulses can be recorded by an instrument called as electrocardiograph. The graphical record of these changes in the heart is known as electrocardiogram. Sometimes the pacemaker of the heart may be defective or damaged, and in such cases, an artificial pacemaker is implemented in such persons to regulate the functioning of the heart. Let's see about the coronary arteries and cardiac veins. Coronary arteries. The coronary arteries are the arteries which transport oxygenated blood to the heart muscle. The heart requires a continuous supply of oxygen to function and survive, much like any other tissue or organs of the body. The coronary arteries wrap around the entire heart. The two main branches are left coronary artery and right coronary artery. The schematic diagrammatic representation of coronary artery is given here. Cardiac veins. The vessels that remove the deoxygenated blood from the heart muscle are the cardiac veins. The cardiac veins carry blood with a pool level of oxygen from myocardium to right atrium. The last topic is the heart sounds. The heart sounds are the noises generated by beating heart and the resultant flow of blood through it. Specifically, the sounds reflect the turbulence created when the heart valve snaps shut. In cardiac osculation, an examiner may use a stethoscope to listen for these unique and distinct sounds that provide important auditory data regarding the condition of the heart. In healthy adults, there are two normal sounds, often described as a lub and a dub, that occurs in sequence with each heartbeat. They are the first sounds S1 and second sound S2, produced by the closing of atrioventricular valve and semilunar valve, respectively. Thank you.